As a 12-year-old kid, I used to sit in my room and draw explorer yachts and expedition yachts. Now, don't get me wrong, my drawings weren't technical, they were just sketches. But when I saw the renderings of the Bering 72, then it reminded me of one of my favourite sketches that I drew 30 years ago. The Bering 72 has all of the hallmarks and sturdy lines of a traditional explorer yacht. Her steel hull has the sort of ruggedness and seakeeping capabilities you would need to transit around the world in most sea states and weather conditions. At 8 knots, the Bering 72 will take you and your family and friends 5,000 nautical miles. Her fuel tanks can carry 4,500 gallons or 18,200 litres of fuel, and being 72 foot length overall means that she is still within the size limit of what an experienced owner and their partner would be happy to operate without the need of any crew. The 72 has a beam of 6.45 metres and a maximum draft of 1.87 metres. She has a top speed of 10 knots and has accommodation for 6 guests and 2 crew members. She has been certified a CE classification A, meaning that the Bering 72 is designed to cross oceans rather than skirt around them. Before taking a look at the general arrangement of the 72, let us have a virtual look inside this graceful vessel. One of the things I love about Bering Yachts is the interiors of their vessels. Everything is bright, airy and modern. This might sound like basic stuff, but remember, I spent 5 years at sea on several Royal Navy warships. And if you intend on spending any serious time at sea, then how bright, modern and airy the interiors are is very important. Now let us take a look at the general arrangement or layouts of the Bering 72, starting with this, the top view. Next we have the flybridge, followed by the main deck, and then of course the accommodation areas. Another thing that I love about the Bering 72 are her lines. We have the raised bow, something that you will find on quite a few genuine explorer yachts. Raised bows not only help with seaworthiness, but they also help to keep spray off of the main superstructure. We also have a flybridge, which for seafarers like myself, who like to be at one with the elements, is really important. The flybridge has a hardtop to make sure that you don't overdose on the rays, should you be navigating through sunnier climates. I also like the traditional radar mast with the 2 radars. 2 radars are always better than 1, because you can have one display on the bridge dedicated to the short range radar picture, with a second radar dedicated to the longer range digital view of what is going on around you. Of course, a Bering would not be a Bering without a large boat deck that can also double up as an outdoor lounging area and alfresco dining experience. On the stern leading to the transom, we have a decent sized area in the cockpit of the vessel that leads out to a swim platform with safety rails. There are a couple of other features of the Bering 72 which I feel are worthy of note. The first is the bow thruster. Anyone who is thinking of purchasing a 72 and operating her without a crew will be pleased to see one of these. Another really important safety feature of the Bering 72 are the stern guards which protrude out of the stern of the vessel and the hull. If you are going to operate the 72 in a tidal area, then there is a chance that you might get the tides wrong and therefore hit the bottom. These guards will help to ensure that if you do run aground, which I have done in the past, then your props to a certain extent will be protected. It is also great to see a stern thruster as well. I think that if you are confident enough in your boat handling skills, then you could probably operate the 72 by yourself. When I had my old boat, which was only a small Falcon 22, I used to go out to sea when the weather was bad, but I could never find any volunteers to accompany me during such voyages. So personally, I like the fact that you could probably operate this vessel during short transits by yourself. I have been following Bering since they released their first renderings back when the Yacht first came together. I'm not surprised that they have become really popular boats. Anyone who is interested in really exploring the world, not only in fair weather conditions, but in inclement ones too, knows that to be safe on your voyages, then you are better off looking at an expedition, trawler or explorer yacht. This genre of vessel really is the 4x4 of the seas, and out of all the models in the Bering range, the 72 is one of my favourites. I think that in part it's because it reminds me of when my love affair with boats and yachts first started, just over 30 years ago, with my first sketches of my dream boat. If you haven't already, then don't forget to come and find me on Instagram. If you want to send me a direct message or email, then I do reply to all messages. If you want to stay up to date with any news and video releases, then you can sign up for my free newsletter via the link in the video description. And finally, if you'd like to support my channel, then please consider becoming a member. To find out more, click on the join button that can be found on both my homepage and under each video. Please don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. So until next time, fair winds and following seas.